David's done a fantastic job this week coming up with 7 realities of running a membership website. David, if it's okay with you, I'd love to pass it over and you could take us away with this amazing tip of the week.
Yes, please. So this presentation will probably be most useful if you're just starting your membership or directory website, or if you've launched it recently. If you've been running your website for quite a while now, you'll probably identify with some of these things. Maybe you'll think of other things that you can post and share in the Facebook group. But yeah, this should be a pretty interesting presentation here. So the first reality here, building it doesn't mean that they'll come. So we've went over this many times in previous webinars. I know when we speak on the phone or through email with a lot of our users, we really try to hammer home the point that you don't need to perfect every single little aspect of your website, initially at least, and then only to spend no time actually marketing it. People won't know that you have a great community and a great membership offering if they can't actually find you. So you want to have a viable market to target, understand the needs of that market, and then actually provide a solution to the market. So don't rely on if you build it, they will come. Instead, you'll want to build it and then actually tell them about it.
And actually, like personally, when I work on things, David, we especially, running Brilliant Directories, we're a small team here. We all wear different hats. What I've learned works well is to compartmentalize your tasks and maybe spend 1 week or even a month on something, but then shift gears and change gears and focus on improving another aspect that keeps the wheels churning. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good is the saying. And don't hyper obsess over the smallest details on your site. I know a lot of us are building our site for the first time. A lot of us already have our routines to keep our sites going as well. So we shift gears, but you don't want to get stuck on the hamster wheel of just working on your site. You want to make sure that you're working on different aspects of your business, especially those of us who are solopreneurs and working on an island all on our own. We have to keep the different elements of our business going, which includes marketing, the designing of the website, business development, the finances, budgeting, things like that. So those are just some things to consider.
Absolutely. And because we've gone over many of these points in much greater detail in previous webinars, or we have blog articles written about them, we figured it would be a good idea to dig up some of those and share some of those links with you guys if you did want to read or watch some more about these individual topics. So this one here, it really goes over several points about effective marketing, where to find your target demographic online, how to target them, things like that. So gives you a little bit more broad ideas on this topic.
I think there's one more article that corresponds with this, David, on that point. 5 daily tasks to keep your membership website growing. This is a great way to diversify, what you're working on a day-to-day basis. I think it's how long is this video here? 20-minute video, but really packs a lot of punch in what you get out of it.
Excellent. Yeah, in that video, I think we discussed items like managing member inquiries, following up with new members, publishing content, sharing on social media, things like that. So that's definitely a great one to check out as well. Number 2 here, there isn't only one key to success. There's no one-size-fits-all strategy to guarantee success. That's probably the most common question we get here from some of our new users is, if there's one thing you could tell me to ensure my website success, what would that be? Unfortunately, it just doesn't exist, just like there isn't necessarily one key to success for any business. You could say maybe, work hard or, investing a lot of time and effort into it, but there isn't one specific element that we can really point to guarantee success for your website, because there are so many different tactics that work well. But at the end of the day, it really does depend on your individual website, who your target demographic and market is, where they tend to spend some of their time online, how you should best reach them, type of language that best connects with them, and how you can get your point across to them and convince them why your membership website is a necessity for them. So although that secret sauce, magic bullet, one-size-fits-all approach doesn't exist, there are several different tactics that are effective. A lot of that is quality over content. Most of these points that we go over here will be some of these keys to success that do work, generally speaking. but there isn't just one thing to focus on. It really does depend on your individual niche and your website and your community. And so going along with that, figured it would be a good idea to share this pre-launch checklist that we have. We share this with a lot of our new users. It really covers a broad range of items, such as identifying the initial problem that you'll be solving. Will your website and your solution provide an ongoing value to your members and your website's visitors? Is it sustainable? Is there actually an audience for what you're selling, the service, the community? So this is a great one to check out as well. Number 3, knowing what your audience wants. It's better to cater to your members' needs and effectively market your membership to them by actually understanding what it is that they want. So if you can find where your prospective members spend their time online, listen to what they're actually saying, what they're complaining about, what they're happy about, what they're looking for, and research what they need, and observe, just broader overall market trends in general related to your target audience and your prospective members, then you can really use all of this info that essentially they're already telling you online to help shape your membership offerings and to better understand what it is they're looking for and to help serve them and fill that need. So the closest you'll get to that secret sauce, magic bullet, one size fits all key to success is to understand your target audience, understand exactly what it is they need, and then figure out how you can provide a solution for them.
And also with this, I think one of the best ways to find out what your audience wants comes from calling people on the phone. You can send online surveys and stuff, but the best people to call are the ones who cancel or the ones who don't sign up. Because you can ask them, what didn't work out for you? What are we missing? What would you like to see? You can also call your existing members and also cross-reference what they like about your site, what they would love for you to add. So when we say know what your audience wants, what we're talking about here is outreach and reaching out to them. A lot of us aren't comfortable on the phone, but you'll be surprised, especially for people don't normally get calls from Facebook or, companies like that. So they'll be happy to, talk to you more than you think. You might want to create a short script for yourself. Don't sound robotic, or just make up some talking points to cover in that phone conversation. Make it short and easy and thank them. And at the end, ask them if they'd like to give you another try, and that you're going to work on some of those changes. So again, getting that feedback, calling them, making a list of cross-referencing popular things or common things that people are repeating or saying over and over. That's going to help you craft. That's going to help you craft your messaging, your voice, what you're offering to your members, and ultimately that's going to help you result in more signups because now you're giving people what they're asking for or what they thought was missing. You're going to provide that for them. So outreach is the key here with point number 3.
Spot on. And to hopefully prevent some of those cancellations, we actually did a webinar tip of the week not too long ago, exactly on this topic, how to identify what your members really want. So this should come in handy for many people.
Let's see what we have a table of contents here. So don't be afraid to ask for input, social listening, conduct surveys, observe market trends, follow the numbers. Really good video here.
And number 4, your primary job here will actually be to solve problems. So every business, whether you're a landscaper or a lawyer, you're solving a problem. People are joining your membership community to help them solve a problem that they're having and to help them reach a goal that they want to achieve. And by managing membership websites, your job is then to explain those goals and solve your members' problems. This should always be in the back of your mind, whether you're publishing new content, refining your membership offerings, whatever it may be, you should always have in the back of your mind, is what I'm doing helping to solve the primary problem of my members? And if it is, then it's probably going to be a success. If you're not sure, then you should ask either your current members or your prospective members if there's any Facebook groups online or subreddits where they hang out, anything like that. Figure out what other things it is that they need help with, that they're looking for, that they'd like help with, what goals they have that they need help with in order to achieve, and try to help them meet those goals. So convince people why they need to join your community. You don't want to have your community come off as a nice to have. It should come off as a need to have.
And also, just to expand on this, your website might be doing an amazing job solving the problem or providing the solution for the reason why people are joining your site. However, you may have a disconnect in your messaging explaining to people that that problem will be solved or that solution will be provided to them. So if we go back to point number 3, where we mentioned the outreach and calling your members, you might also hear that they just didn't understand what your website was about or what they can get from your website. So that's why we mentioned on this slide, your job is to explain to them what your website is going to do for them, not just solve the problems, but also explain that you're going to be solving the problems or providing the solutions you're providing. And that's the convincing them why they need to join. That why is you explaining in plain English or whatever language your website is translated into, but explaining to them plainly and clearly what they stand to gain from joining your community. It shouldn't be confusing. It shouldn't be over their top. Don't get too abstract with that messaging. It should be clear, cut, and dry what they stand to gain by joining your community.
That's exactly right. And actually a great segue into the tip of the week that goes along with this, where we covered the membership sales funnel basically from start to finish. It's basically a fancy way of saying the process of getting a new member signed up on the website. So in this presentation, we went over the awareness stage and ways to build awareness with your prospective members, both on-site and off-site. So, talking about the language that you use on your website, as well as what you may be doing off of your website, other places online, cold calling, emails, whatever it may be. We also talked about the second stage, which is nurturing interest. The third stage, which is actually persuading these prospects to purchase a membership or sign up for free, whatever it is you may be offering. And then that fourth stage, the actual conversion, closing that sale and setting the prospects, now the new member, up for success.
That's great. Quite a few topics that we cover in this video. Also looks like about a 20-minute video. I guess our tip of the weeks are about 20 minutes each time, David.
I guess that's the sweet spot we like to hit. So number 5, quality over quantity always. Not sure if there's another topic that we touch on quite as much as this, whether it's in webinars, phone calls, emails, whatever it may be. But from the content that's published on your website to the size of your email list, you always want to prioritize quality, not necessarily quantity. So as an example, 5 useful, insightful, entertaining articles on your website will attract more engagement and repeat readers than 100 low quality copy and pasted articles will. And even if people are just coming to your website, reading the article and then leaving, if they come back to your website a second time, a third time, they might start to realize that, okay, this website's actually providing useful information to me. Maybe I'll sign up for their newsletter. If they go to your join page, maybe they'll see you have a free membership or $5 membership that solves a problem that they're looking for a solution for. Another example, 50 engaged readers on your email list is more valuable than 500 absentee subscribers, because you're getting those 5, even though your email list might only have 50 people on it, if all 50 of them are constantly coming back to your website, clicking on those links in your email, engaging with the content, maybe leaving comments, that's better than having an email list of 500 or 5,000 where hardly any of them are actually clicking on those links in your newsletter and coming back to your website and engaging on your website with your community. So always focus on quality, not those vanity metrics. Not only will that help bring in more people, it will also ensure that your current and existing members stay happy because they know and they trust that you're providing them with quality content and information. And so I know at a glance, avoid these common membership website mistakes doesn't sound like it goes with quality over quantity, but many of the items that we had in this list, I believe we had 7 items in here, actually do touch on the quality over quantity aspect. Another element that we touch on in many of our tips of the week, trust is everything. Trust is important in any relationship, and it's important that we look at our interactions and the transactions that we have with our members, not simply as just that transactions, but actually as a relationship. So when someone starts a membership, they're starting a relationship with us and with our community. So they need to trust that we can solve their problems in order to join our community, but then they also need to trust that we can continue to provide them with ongoing value. Since that's the only way we're going to keep them around. Unless you're offering like a one-time membership fee, most membership websites will be charging a monthly or an annual fee. And so in order to continue to get that recurring membership fee from them, we need to constantly be providing them with values. So there's a great quote by a gentleman named Bob Berg who said, with all things being equal, people will do business with people they know, like, and trust. So if you have a competitor out there, a competing membership community, and everything that they're offering is the same that you're offering, and everything's equal, at the end of the day, it will come down to who's more trustworthy. And the more trustworthy community, website, whatever it may be, will ultimately be the one that wins out. So trust is important. We touch on this a lot in previous webinars, blog articles, and other content that we have. The piece of content that goes along with this is 6 secrets to boost member loyalty. And in this, we go over several ways that you can continue to engage with your community and your active members, celebrate their achievements, emphasize their content, and really help cultivate the community.
Yeah, the example you shared, I've used before. It's like if there's 2 restaurants, they serve basically the exact same food. Why would one restaurant have a line out the door and the other one be empty? And if everything is equal, it comes down to the trust, the loyalty, the relationship. So that comes into the interpersonal connections that you can make with your prospective community. So that goes a long way. And a great way to boost that is with what we call social proof. That's with testimonials. That's with case studies showing use cases or other examples where individuals are enjoying or have been successful with your website or solution. That does help cultivate credibility and trust as well, are those testimonials. Because people want to get their feet wet. They're a little scared. They kind of want to see that other people have been here before them. That's actually called the early majority. After you already have signed up the people who are willing to try new shiny things, there's people who are a little more conservative and they need to see that something is a bit more established. And that's how you can differentiate yourself, is when you build and also showcase that trust that you have with existing members.
And you mentioned social proof, which leads us right into the 7th on our list here. Word of mouth marketing is powerful. So happy and successful members are a huge marketing asset for us. Other people saying that our membership offerings are useful is far more valuable than us saying it on our website ourselves. And this is essentially what social proof is. It's like if you're trying to figure out where you want to go for dinner, you might go on Yelp and see what restaurants are out there and see what kind of reviews they have. Or if you saw a new restaurant open up down the street, maybe you look that up online and see what kind of reviews it has. We're looking for social proof. We want to see that other people have good things to say about this product or service before we invest our own time and money into it. So happy members, they can end up giving you testimonials. They can talk about your communities to others. You know, if they have coworkers, friends, family, other people online who might be interested in what you're offering, they can become affiliates if you want to offer that, so that they can help bring in new paying members to your website. And overall, they can just help you grow and improve your website. If you have a good relationship with your members, especially your most active or most successful members, it wouldn't be a bad idea to reach out to them maybe once a quarter, every several months, see if they have any recommendations for you, tips on what you can do to improve the maybe the navigation of your website, if they want you to offer any additional services that they're willing to pay you for, things like that. So keeping our members happy and ensuring their success is a great way to not just get feedback from them and improve our offering, but to also utilize them as a marketing asset. So keep your members happy so they can in turn help you. And speaking of social proof, this piece of content that we have, this just goes right back into social proof, asking members for testimonials and then how to utilize those testimonials, how to sprinkle them throughout your website to hopefully encourage new members to sign up if they do need that little bit of social proof to help them cross that finish line.
All right, let's do a quick recap here of the 7 items. So building it doesn't mean they'll come. You need to make sure that you're working on other facets of your business. It is a business. You want to run it like a business, and that'll keep you on the straight and narrow, and you'll see incremental progress when you work on your website like that. There isn't only one key to success. There really isn't a secret sauce. I think the secret sauce would be not being amazing at one thing, but being decent at many things. That's going to help the wheels and gears continue turning for your online business. Know what your audience wants. That's the outreach. Call cancellations. Call people who are halfway signing up. Call your happiest members and see what they love. Get that feedback and then use that feedback to construct the messaging that's in your marketing and website materials. Your job is to solve problems. So knowing what your audience wants goes hand in hand with solving the problems. So you want to make sure that you're delivering on your promises. Sometimes it's best to keep your solution as simple as possible. Maybe your website doesn't need to do 20 different things. Maybe do one or two things really well and make that the problem you're solving or the solution you're providing to your members. And then secondly, with that is make sure you explain to them that you're going to solve those problems or provide those solutions to them. Don't assume that just because they're visiting your website and see the main menu and some smiley faces that they understand what the point of your community is. You need to explain it to them clearly, plainly, and simply. And then as David mentioned, quality over quantity always. I can't agree with that more. Even at Brilliant Directories, let's go back 8 years. We thought the best way to, promote the platform was by quantity. And we realized very quickly that we were just spinning our wheels. So we took our time and we started focusing on delivering quality content, better engaging the community, listening to our community members. And, it's working out really well. And that can be applied really to any business because people aren't dumb these days. Consumers, they do their research. They can't be fooled or tricked as easily as before. They're very savvy. So you want to make sure that you're delivering quality service and a quality product and a quality community to people, that people want to be part of something. They want to be part of a cohort. It makes them feel special. And your website can be that place for many people. And that just goes into the number 6 here, where trust is everything. If two restaurants serve the exact identical food almost, what's going to set one apart? It's going to be that customer service. It's going to be making people feel good. That's building that trust and having that rapport with the users and the customers of your website. So building trust, cultivating loyalty, and it's reciprocal. You have to also respect your members, and then they will in turn respect you. Again, we're dealing with very savvy users and community members these days. There's a lot of competition and markets available for people. So to stand out, people will not forget good service that you provide to them. And then that's where the word of mouth marketing comes in, is when you do provide that good experience, they will tell their friends and family and colleagues of the good experience that they're having or had with your website or solution. So word of mouth marketing is the most powerful marketing these days. And it will also solidify your longevity, because you'll have loyal evangelists who trust your brand, who name you by brand name to their friends and family. So keep that in mind. And then with that word of mouth, you want to put those testimonials online, put them on your website, show those use cases and examples, put them on your social media channels, and have a real dialogue with your community online in the public, and show other people who are just peeking in and who may be interested that your community is welcoming and that there may be a place for them there. So David, I love the order that you put these 7 elements in. I think they do correspond to each other one after another.